Berwickshire. That's in Scotland, last I heard. On the border now in England. We are of English blood and faithful servants of the White Rose. I've never been this far south in my entire life. I'm a little scared, priest. Don't mean to burden that with my feelings. Young lady, that's my charge on earth. We've a long carriage ride. Something seems wrong with all of this. A young lady and a priest from Durham called on special envoy by His Majesty. I've never met him before. Has a royal family visited thy family estate? God, no. We're of some prominence in our village, yes. Granted lands, titles and income. I'm to be married. Well, planned to be married. A little scandal, to be honest. We've some time, don't we? Yes, we've some time. To continue, there's something wrong with all of this. War has been waging for many years. I've heard tales of Henry Tudor gaining ground. Rumours. What do I know from my small parish so far away from the action? I'm surprised to be here in this situation with thou. To introduce myself, we've been priests in Durham for generations. Not much to say, really. I like to look out at the ocean and pray for the people. Watch over them as a flock of sheep. I'm a very good listener, not much of a talker. If thou don't mind, maybe we could enjoy some silence with our own thoughts. We've some time, don't we? Well played, priest. That sounds very fine. Although, if thou don't mind, maybe one more question for the time. They say the king's of curved stature. What thou make of that, priest? 'Tis his spine, my lady. Chapter 2. Some time after Durham they'd stopped for the night. Now a day later. Still the same slow grind. The two travellers tired. Would have been better to walk, suddenly quipped Lady of Berwickshire, rocking in her seat. Yes, not the most comfortable arrangement, although it does cut down on the exercise. Thou were saying something about a scandal? Yes, priest, a scandal. Not long ago my parents arranged for me to marry an Englishman, recently moved to our county. I grew up near Berwick upon Tweed. That's why I'm the Lady of Berwickshire. And, as thou know, we live on the border, well now in England. Grew up with lots of Scottish boys. Fell in love with a Scottish boy. The family knew about it. They split us up. Engaged me to an Englishman. Only what? I'm with child, priest. The Lady of Berwickshire and thy child. Thy child and the father's a Scottish boy that thy family stands firm against, while engaged in an arranged marriage with an Englishman. Thy family sits very prominent in thy village, my lady. Yes. Word got to the king. He sent for me himself. Seems he arranged this carriage ride with me and thou as the only two passengers. Well, we should speak to each other freely. I will guard thy baby with my life. Thank thou, priest. Chapter 3. Another day after a stop at night. Same slow grind. Only the carriage stops and lurches forward. Lady of Berwickshire, with her back to the coachman, stayed seated, while the priest almost fell to the floor. "All right, sire," yelled the coachman. "Yes, coachman, the young lady is well. Have we found our fate?" "Mind stepping out, sire? And the maiden. The doorman will help thee out." Outside, they could see the problem. A wheel had sunk in the mud, injuring some of the horses during the abrupt end of momentum. Both the priest and the Lady of Berwickshire had mud on their feet. "Can we do anything, coachman?" asked the priest. "Walk, sire. 'Tis the only thing to do. For get to York thou must with much ado. If thou take this letter with thee,